Okay, it's my movie room. I made a personal video store tour. I'll give you a good idea what I have and where I'm going over the next couple of months into the new year. Usually I like to go thrifting over the spring and summer. Hopefully around Christmas I could get a TV show, working one or two around that time. It depends. Some of them are kind of expensive. Then I could get one. Depends what I can get a little bit extra. And the room tour, I do have music. I'm really picky with my music. Because I had music ever since high school. I rebought everything that I remember I had, except Dolly Parton. I never had anything on her, so she's like almost new to me. Only knew her music now for a couple of years. And Pro Jam. I rebought all the early ones that I had back then. I wish I at least kept those, knowing how expensive they are to get back. Then I'm going to try to get into some other country albums and some other heavy metal bands I don't have yet. But I'm trying to build up Dolly Parton first, and then Pearl Jam, early live, and go into other music from there. Then I need to build up my Atari next year, and NES, and Sega. So it's going to be either music, games, or it's going to be movies and TV shows. So I cannot do both at the same time. I just keep things organized in favorites. I don't have things separate in horror, comedy. It's not big enough space to do that. So plus I put the ones I don't really know that much on the bottom, and I've been buying little cars every now and then, but I don't see those celebrity cars like Ghostbusters. Dukes of Hazzards would be nice to have. A little smaller cars like Ferrari and stuff like that, I'll pick up every now and then. Where I can for Star Wars and Doctor Who. Starting to pick up a little bit on Doctor Who now, so any chance I could get a little something, I'll try to get it for, that's going to be my toy area. And the records is, might have to move the Xbox games so I can use it for records. Now I'll probably put the Xbox games over here. These are the two recent builds. Nothing is perfect, but enough to hold movies, and all these shelves I made myself. This side I built it up a little bit higher, so it's for a cartoon. Building stuff up like Scooby-Doo, Goosebumps. Then you get stuff like Toy Story in there, E.T., Frozen, stuff like that. Some of the more better titles, Cat in the Hat, and then goes into other cartoons, Curious George, and then a few here. A little bit of space, more space now since I added another shelf. Level it off these shelves. If I find more wood, I'll try to raise this one up a little bit higher. And I group all my TV shows first, and then movies I like. And every shelf has a TV show, and then followed by some movies. So I'm trying to work on Bones now as well. On The Simpsons, South Park, 90210. Got 1 to 10 on Simpsons right now, plus number 20. So I'm working on 10 to 20 in there. If I can find 1 or 2 of those high numbers, I'll be okay. It's really hard to find any Simpsons locally, so it took a long time to get 1 to 10 just from my area without having to buy it on eBay. Because eBay tends to have more shipping on bigger box sets. So same with older movies, but I do try to get older movies in my collection as much as possible. Especially the old ninja karate movies, kung fu movies. But good titles, I do try to get those coming in, and build up some of these sequels like RoboCop, and you get your smaller horror sets like Grudge, The Crow. Other stuff is mixed in here. Now it's going to be a horror. Clerks, Chuck Norris movies. So I do try to group a lot of things together. Don't know if there's a new Boogeyman movie coming out, but I heard about it recently. So I do try to get older movies first, but if it's something I could pick up, then just finally completed I Love Lucy. Now I need to complete on Merlins this year. I need one more for this set. Three Stooges I completed last year. I had to buy a couple of them off eBay. Pay a little bit on shipping, but a lot of it I found locally, so it's pretty expensive on eBay. I think about $200 to $300. So not all the sets are low in price. Sometimes you pay a little bit more for some of them, especially if you're trying to buy Region 1. Sometimes they might drop in price, but I try to get it when I can for my collection, and then I try to pick up some VHS. Been seeing a lot of James Bond in my area and Shirley Temple, so that's why I pick up locally. A lot of clamshell Shirley, although I don't know why she has so many movies. Don't really know any of them, but that's what my city had most of, and a little bit on Mr. Bean. Every now and then a movie will come in, every once in a while. Took a good couple of years to finally find Die Hard Part 1 for the color VHS set. Same with Part 2, so finally have Part 2, although a little bit of a wear under the top. But these are normal common titles, but they don't show up that often, especially for VHS in my area. Maybe you can find them a little bit cheaper in USA, but over here is the James Bond. Don't really find them that often, but I did manage to get a lot of them because over the past year or so I've been seeing them off and on when I go thrifting, so I managed to complete the whole set. I only got like half of it on DVD, so I'm still trying to build it up on DVD. And then last year I picked up Heartland, which is around $200. I do have Barbies, I do have vintage dolls, so I do have an interest in haunted dolls as well. Bought a few of these as haunted dolls off eBay, then I stopped doing that. But I do find these little dolls locally every now and then, and I do try to pick one up. Got Nightmare on Elm Street here, Return of the Living Dead on DVD. The first one is black and white. I don't know if it's the same. I have it in VHS, but these are really hard to get for VHS, so I only got this one on VHS right now. If I'll get Friday the 13th on VHS, I don't know. I'll try to get at least Part 1. If I could get some smaller sets in between, stuff like Rocky, Porky's, Poltergeist, Revenge of the Nerds. Obviously going to be horror. I picked up Universal Monsters over the past couple of years. I've been trying to collect the Universal Monsters. I got a couple of doubles. Frankenstein's my favorite one so far. Some of this wood I had to buy and rebuild the shelves a couple of times to make it look right. My building skills aren't perfect, but everything in here I made by myself, so a lot of mistakes on the shelving, but a lot of the wood is found wood. Some of the wood we had, and some of the wood I had to cut down from like a desk or different furniture, a table, just to get some boards out of it. These long boards are around $5, and to build one whole shelf, you need at least $40 or $50 plus screws. So to do that for a whole one whole roll, you're putting a fair bit into wood. All the cartoons over here for Disney. I got 2 Little Mermaids. I am going to be slowing down a little bit come next year and putting out videos, but because the movies are getting more expensive now, the older horror movies. I do try to get older horror movies first before any new ones. Found another set for Rocky, so any chance I can pick up a good set, I'll try to pick one up, even if I have it. Depends if I have the room for it. It has to be a good one that I could watch. Then I don't mind having an extra one. So, because I know it's going to be hard to get off eBay. You pay at least $50 for a set. But Friday the 13th right now on VHS costs about $50. Sometimes $70, $80 for just Part 1. So I'm going to try to get at least Part 1 in the collection down the line, because I do want to come back into my VHS more and get a little bit more on Stephen King for VHS. Steam King, probably my favorite is Langoliers. Also, Carrie's another good one, and then Pet Cemetery. So there's a couple there for Steam King. A few others over here, Stand. And other smaller sets I'm trying to pick up, like Karate Kid, Child's Play 1, 2, and 3. I got Tremors Part 2 and Part 3, so I need Part 1. I've got Ghostbusters. When the donation store gets them, most likely the stickers will ruin it. So I'm not a seller, I'm just a collector, but I don't like keeping the donation store stickers on the boxes once I get them. Rambo Part 2. I'm missing Part 2. I got Part 1, Part 3. This one's the special edition. So if I can find Part 2, that'll help me out for VHS. I got The Flight Part 1. This had a little tear there, so I found another box that had a preview sticker, and I managed to save this one. So I could do little repairs like that for some of these boxes, but otherwise it's hard to repair old VHS. I do like to preserve them as much as possible. The Kung Fu Karate over here, got my ninja movies. These are the big boxes. I don't have that many of those, but here's another one missing in action. So I need Part 2. I got Part 3. I only got Part 1 on DVD. Some of these you get lost on DVD, and they get remade onto Region 2, or they get remade onto Blu-ray. What little Region 2 I have, I keep in the little bottom area there. It's only like a handful of them. Same with Blu-ray. I don't have very many Blu-ray, but they're over here. So I do try to get at least a good title in there every once in a while. And still a couple of TV shows I'm missing. I'm building up 90210. Only need, I think, 2 or 3 more, then I'll have the whole set. I'm trying to finish it locally and build up Simpsons, and South Park now is over here. Starting to build up on the South Park. And other smaller cartoons like that, which can cost a fair bit on eBay, I think. Unless if you get it on a good day. Everything in here I buy is Region 1. For TV shows and movies, I don't buy Region 2. Even though Region 2 is cheaper, it's not something my country or Blockbuster had. It's foreign, so I don't collect on it. I didn't not grew up with that, so I don't collect Synapse Syndrome or Severance, but I might get a couple things down the line on that. I don't know. I don't have anything right now to show you for Synapse Syndrome, Severance. So Arrow as well. Once in a while, something might come up for Region 1 that I think Arrow has as well. And my favorites over here, and got Xbox over here, and records and cassettes below. I do collect board games, which those are in the other room. Plus I have a little animation table, and I could do a little paper ball, bouncing ball on it, a little tablet and stuff. But I don't do painting anymore, although I could get into